one of the groups in opposition to the tax plan, the home builders. Joining us now, Jerry Howard, CEO of the National Association of Home Builders. You are very upset with this tax plan. You put out a statement really going against it. What's the big deal? Why are you upset?
Well, you got to remember, we were one of the first groups to come out in favor of the framework for three reasons. We liked what it was going to do for personal income taxes, we liked the way it was going to treat small businesses, and we liked the commitment to housing. We think that the plan that was released violates all three. Here's why. Number one, while many personal taxpayers may be paying less in taxes, they have to look at their net worth. The houses that they own are going to decline in value. The amount that they're going to have to pay in rents is going to go up. It's a bait and switch for individual taxpayers. Small businesses, we were in favor of them being treated competitively with their large corporate competitors. Turns out small businesses get a little pat on the head. Corporate tax breaks far outstrip any incentives for small businesses. Another bait and switch. But what really bothers us most is this plan completely abrogates the federal commitment to housing. First, for low-income housing, it eliminates tax-exempt bond financing, which has been one of the most successful programs we've had to keep rents low. That's gone. It effectively kills the low-income housing tax credit program, which they brag about keeping. On the home ownership side, placing that $500,000 cap on mortgage interest deduction will in effect mean that those houses that are there or above will decline in value. History shows us, Stuart, that when one segment of the housing market declines in value, the next segment declines, the next segment declines, and pretty soon Americans who were hoping that their home values, that the equity that they've built up will fund their retirements, are in trouble. This is a bad bill.
Okay, you make a good point here. That's a pretty good comprehensive case as to why you oppose this. Basically, you're adding it all together and you're saying that it's bad for housing. But let me pick you up on this. There's going to be now a limit on the mortgage interest deduction. You can deduct the interest only up to $500,000 worth of mortgages. However, Jerry, old mortgages are grandfathered in. So if you've got a mortgage now and it's up to the value, say, $1 million, you still deduct all of the interest, right?
So home sales, then, there are about 7 million homes right now on the market that are above that cap. Those homeowners, many of whom were counting on the equity for retirement, can't sell because their buyers are going to be capped in their mortgage deduction.
You think it would be that bad? I mean, the response to this capping of the mortgage interest deduction at $500,000, you think the profound effect will be so bad that it will actually lower the price, lower the value of expensive homes?
Not only expensive homes. Once one segment of the market starts to decline, history shows us they all do. We think it's so bad, Stuart, we're worried about another housing recession.
What are you going to do about it?
Well, we hope that there are enough responsible members in the House that they won't turn the people's house into corporate headquarters. And we're banking on that to try and work with them to make changes to this bill before it gets to the president's desk.
What kind of shot do you think you've got at doing that? Because it's a very narrow, tight window that they're dealing with here. To get it done this year, or to get it done with, say, 51 votes in the Senate and in the Senate, you've got to conform to that $1.5 trillion maximum tax deduction, tax break that over the next 10 years. There isn't much room, is there, for loosening up the deal on housing?
There is room as long as there are members who are responsible. And I know that you've heard, as we have, several members of the Republican conference are saying we've got to make changes to this bill. We're going to work with them. Just as importantly, the Senate is in play. The Senate has always been the body which slows down bad legislation. We're going to work with the Senate so that they can pass good legislation.
All right, Jerry Howard, look, thank you very much for being with us. I think you laid out a pretty comprehensive case there, and that was very interesting. Thanks for being on the show, sir.
Thanks. Good to see you again, Stuart.